Stanley Kubrick is my favorite director of all time. I'm still yet to have watched all of his movies. There's still Spartacus and Paths of Glory.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
I have not seen Paths of Glory. I've seen Spartacus, and there's Lolita. Which I haven't
Lolita.
seen.
Yeah, I need to see that. But yeah, there are a few I haven't seen. Yeah. And you also said to me, have you seen Barry Lyndon? Yeah. And I was like, no, I really need to watch that. That's the next one. And so, you wanted to see what I think. I'm not going to say anything new here. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was
it's incredible.
Breathtaking.
Yeah.
I think with this one, though, narratively, it was probably the most kind of, what would you say, coherent out of all of his movies, if that makes any sense.
It's a very simple narrative, very simple story.
There's definitely a hell of a lot going on with his character. He goes on I'd say quite complicated journey, but like you say, it's simplistic the way it follows him, The cinematography is just out of this world. Yeah. It's one of the most beautiful films I've seen. Just when you think of it within the context of the time, people had never really seen something like this before. Just the candlelit shots that are shot pure. People still struggle with that now, with our digital cameras.
In 1975,
he pulled it off.
Kubrick and then with these giant Panavision or whatever the hell they were using.
It's absolutely insane.
It's crazy.
Shot purely on candlelight. Are you kidding me? In 1975,
just incredible.
He's an absolute master of cinematography. Obviously, he did photography when he first started. But I swear there was a Bond movie where they asked him to take over some of the rigging of the camera of the lighting in one of the.
I didn't actually know that, but I know why that probably is true. It's because the production designer of this film, Ken Adam, worked on a lot of the earlier Bond films.
Oh, okay.
And shout out to Ken Adam, by the way, just one of the greatest production designers of all time. Mm-hmm. Just such beautiful costumes, beautiful sets. So that's probably why that story is true. I didn't know that though.
Yeah. It's so kind of interesting, just his style of lighting, because it's almost as if it's like he always works on the principle that kind of less is more. Like a lot of his movies are just completely naturalistic lighting, no over rigging or anything like that, or a bunch of studio lights and stuff. I mean, The Shining was just, basically completely shot with natural light. The same as A Clockwork Orange, I think.
Oh, really?
Which is just, it's this what makes those movies so delicious is this.
Delicious. But no, I think that the thing with this film and with a lot of Kubrick films is that he can make the simplest thing just so beautiful. Yeah, like the simplest shots. Yeah. Actually, a standout for me is when I can't remember which point of the film this is, but he's in the carriage with like Lady Bullingdon. Right. And she's like upset. Yeah. And he's just so cold. Yeah. And he's there with his pipe smoking. You know the shot.
I do. Yeah.
Even that. A painting, man.
All of them are. That's all of the shots you could just take as a painting.
What did you think of the journey that this character went on?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's very interesting. It's simple, but it's complex. What did you make of it?
So this is obviously based on a book. Most of his stories are. But usually obviously I haven't read the book. I don't think you have. By William, let's say his name at least. William Makepeace
Thackeray.
Yeah.
Ooh-yah.
Shout out to him. Yeah. Great story. But what Kubrick does is he usually just takes the foundations of the story and then completely does 1,000 other things to it to kind of spin it on its head and a bunch of stuff. Yeah. You just take the story of A Clockwork Orange. He totally switched it around in many ways that are actually very subtle and you can totally overlook if you're not paying attention. And obviously The Shining is just one of the most iconic examples. But the journey that this character goes on, I actually didn't really know where he was heading. And I didn't think it would go in the direction that it did, just in the sense that, it's a very cynical movie, I think. Yeah. And what I like is just the juxtaposition between how absolutely stunning it is and how exquisite it is, just so beautiful, against just the real dark side of humanity, and just that so many characters in this movie are just so full of hate.
They're awful. Yeah, they're really awful,
and it's just really just about just elitism and lying and being deceitful and being hateful and being fake and twisting the truth and all that stuff.
But that's why this film is so fascinating. I think it is one of the few films within the history of cinema to show like the antithesis of the hero's journey.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the villain arc, because you are watching this guy. I wouldn't even say be corrupted, because that corruption was already there. He's a very dark individual,
right?
But you watch him figure out how to maneuver his way through society, how to lie, cheat, and steal. You know, just what status means.
He just becomes a fraud, basically.
Exactly. But I think that's fascinating. We don't see enough of that. We just see the hero's journey.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I love about his
purpose, goes good to bad, and I guess he does in a way, but it's the complete. It's like it's the dark side of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's just Kubrick, man. He,
it's just
exposes the ugliness in all of us.
The way his mind works is always so fascinating. That's why he's my favorite director, because you could just never really predict where he's going, and there's always so much to unpack with his stories. I'm so excited to just jump into what it's all about, and what people's, because some people think it's a story about determinism, and whether this character was ill-fated from the beginning, and whether it was a consequence of his actions or more his environment and the people around him.
Or was this his destiny?
Yes, exactly. Is he a product of the people and the environment that he was in? But I think I think that it was a lot to do with the decisions that he made. He made a lot of bad decisions throughout the movie as well that also led him down that path. But that's just it. It already just opens up a whole conversation. It's just like, and it doesn't tell you the answer. That's what he does. I just love movies that just present a series of events to you.
But then Kubrick never does, man.
Yeah.
He gives you just enough where he knows you're all smart enough to draw your own conclusions about the morality of these characters, what you think the film means. He doesn't like spelling it out.
Yeah.
But got to give a special shout out to Leon Vitali.
Who's that?
Lord Bullingdon. I think he's one of my favourite villains.
Oh, yes.
The stepson.
Absolutely, yeah. He's great.
What a shit. And the funny thing is, who he is in Eyes Wide Shut? He is the old man at the party being like, if you say a single word.
Really?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh my God.
Because him and Kubrick, they were lifelong friends after they did Barry Lyndon together.
Oh, wow. I love that.
So crazy, isn't it?
That's brilliant. Yeah. That's so awesome. I love that.
But no, he was definitely a standout for me.
Oh, yeah, and Patrick McGee, who was in A Clockwork Orange. I don't know if you noticed it. Have you seen A Clockwork Orange?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have, yeah. Yeah, so a few crossovers there. But yeah, he also always with his movies, they are so separate from one another in the sense that they are just, what he's done, man. Like, just every single one of his movies are just, like, they can all be considered the best
in their genre.
Like the masterpiece in that genre, which is just insane. Let alone one director doing one masterpiece. He's like every
several.
genre.
Yeah, and to think that so many people still don't know about this film. Obviously, the film bros do, of course, but
very kind of underrated and forgotten.
Oh yeah, no, it's you could if you were to make a case of this being his like forgotten masterpiece, absolutely,
yeah. I think it's more. I think it's maybe because it's maybe just more tame and he's more been more famous
and it's long.
for Carnage, and it's very long. It has an intermission.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch this, just take some time out of your day. Well, your whole day.
Yeah,
it's worth it. I promise.
I preferred the second half.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I always like seeing the downfall of characters. I don't know what that says about my personality, but I always just find that it's more fascinating. But I didn't expect it. The first half didn't set me up to necessarily expect that to happen. I was on his side really on the first side.
Do you not think his like art journey in the army set that up?
Yeah,
a little bit.
I didn't think he would become so corrupt and such a fraud. Right,
okay,
though.
That's interesting.
So
I think very cleverly, Kubrick very much plants the seeds that but Barry is basically he's a liar, he's a cheater, he's awful.
But I always saw it as though he I think that's it. I think the first half is more just like he's kind of forced to make these decisions, whereas the second half he's then taking his own liberties to do these things. Yes, exactly. Yeah,
he's just the master and the destroyer of his own.
Exactly. The way he treats his son-in-law, and just the way he treats his wife. And
a standout scene for me was definitely when the stepson brings in his son to the recital, whatever it is they're doing, and he's wearing his shoes, and they get into that little fight.
Oh yes, yeah.
I don't know. I think just with that, it's a nice bit of. It's kind of like it's a bit of slapstick, and I appreciate.
Did you think that? Yeah, when I watched it, I was like, really
still a brutal scene.
Yeah, I thought it was quite brutal.
Yeah,
and I remember I was actually thinking wow, this is a PG film. Like there's some quite intense dark
it's
things.
crazy that this was PG at the time.
Yeah, it's weird.
Definitely wouldn't show this to any like little child. I mean, for God's sake, yeah. I mean, his son like dies. That scene.
Yeah.
I can't believe he kind of actually had the balls to show the kid falling off the horse and.
Yeah, it's mad.
And he's like, Dad, am I going to die? Oh God,
yeah. But it's so beautiful. I think exquisite is it's one of the most exquisite, and I don't even use that word that much, but it's such a perfect word for it.
Like all the buzzwords like exquisite, masterpiece, all apply to Barry Lyndon.
Absolutely. And even the narration, it's so well written.
God, and that score.
Yeah. Oh, God. I love the score. Incredible score.
It's one of those beautiful.
Yeah. In the last half an hour, it really plays onto it, and I was so digging it. I was like, wow. And I think I'm definitely looking forward to going back to this movie, which might be surprising because it's 3 hours long. But I think with his movies, they are so kind of overpowering. Perhaps is the right word, because there's just so much going on. There's so much to look at. There's so much to explore, like in every sense, like, just the visual side, the narrative side, everything. It can be quite a lot to take in the first time you watch it. So I find with his movies, definitely the second viewing is more you can sit back and just enjoy it more and take it all in and drink it in more. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Do you know where you'd rank this in terms of your Kubrick list?
I think I prefer it to Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
I still prefer Doctor Strangelove. I mean, 2001's just the best. And I do prefer Eyes Wide Shut. So I'd say I'd probably put it about the fifth of all the movies that I've seen. So I'm obviously yet to see all of his movies. What would you say?
For me, it's definitely like in the top 5.
Yeah.
I would probably say second, and this is purely based on personal preference. I think The Shining.
Yeah. Oh God, I forgot about The Shining as well. Jesus.
No, because even though The Shining, especially compared to Barry Lyndon, is quite a simplistic story.
Yeah.
Simplistic in terms of his themes, not that the themes aren't there. Mm-hmm. I think the feeling that film gives me is just beyond anything else.
The Shining.
Oh, completely, 100%. I don't think any film captures like dread like The Shining.
Yeah.
Oh my God, every time I watch that.
Yeah. And that's an example of a film that uses music in the right way. Like it's actually got, quite a lot of music throughout the whole movie, but it never feels like it's overbearing or not serving a purpose that's...
But then it's like, can you categorize it as music?
Yeah. It's weird,
in the best
isn't it?
possible way.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of screeches, really.
Yeah, a lot of it is. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, God, no. I mean,
discordant,
especially like in the iconic like "Here's Johnny" scene.
Yeah.
It's just like,
man, The Shining is amazing. I totally forgot about that, man. Yeah. Just have you ever seen a film called Room 237?
Is it a documentary?
Yeah.
No, but
it's about these crazy people who all got together to make this movie. It's not that good, but it's very fascinating, a lot of it. I mean, a lot of them are talking a load of shit, right? They're grasping at straws, like a lot of their theories about The Shining, it being built on an Indian burial ground, which is quite a common theory, but and then there's more going into just real dark side.
The moon landing.
The moon landing shit, which is just essentially the kid wearing the Apollo jumper, and that's literally it. But there's just some of the theories that they have, but I don't even care. I just think it's unbelievably...
It just shows the power of that film.
Yeah, people are still talking about it to this day.
Fucking, invoking people.
45 years later, people are still getting together and discussing and theorizing what exactly that movie meant. And they're not just doing that about The Shining, they're doing it about every movie he's done. Because you can't really nail down exactly what it's all about because he just left it to the audience.
When I watched Eyes Wide Shut for the first time, I just thought, God, I mean, there's so much that could bloody mean, and I still think that now.
Yeah. And that's what he gives you as a viewer. He gifts you this blank slate of a movie that you can impress yourself onto, in a sense that whatever you look at it reflects back to you, and everyone sees something very differently. And that's why it just opens up just amazing conversations. And I am yet to find a director. Obviously, there are thousands that do come relatively close, but I'm yet to find one that comes in that league of just a director that just creates these works of art that are just so damn fascinating.
Yeah,
man,
I feel like have we said this before? Yorgos, he could be there.
Yeah.
Maybe because of some of his films, like I think The Lobster and Killing of a Sacred Deer are very like Kubrick-y,
I think perhaps it's more just the style. But the thing is, Stanley Kubrick's doing a hell of a lot more stuff in the background. When you look on the face of it, 100% Yorgos is up there. Yeah, I agree, and definitely Ari Aster as well. I mean, I was just rewatching Midsommar, and you can definitely see similarities. But loved it, absolutely loved it. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. See what people have to say about this movie. People who didn't dig it at all. A miserable dirge. Please give me the hours back. I'll agree with that. It's quite miserable in the sense that just the story.
No, but is it a dirge? whatever that means.
What the fuck that means?
Never heard that word.
It's so depressing and ugly. Okay, great. Characters are deadpans. The air booser. So I only watched this movie because I like Kubrick, but something here felt wrong. Firstly, the actors are complete deadpans and by deadpans. I mean, actually deadpans.
Have you not watched a Kubrick film?
They like that word.
Maybe deadpan is the wrong word, but I'm pretty sure a Kubrick protagonist is meant to be cold. Am I wrong?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just an inherent thing. It's an inherent trait of his movies.
Yeah.
But anyways, the movie is one of the worst of Kubrick, being insanely boring, and there is some romance in it. And I would say skip this one and use your 3 hours much better. I thought it was a privilege to be spending my 3 hours watching.
No, it's literally, it's like being invited to watch like the bloody Mona Lisa being painted.
It's insane.
Oh my God, that's how it feels.
Also, there is no real flow on the movie for me, but it could be not understanding it. Well, at least they're admitting that. Overall, I think this movie is overrated and should be a 3 or 4 out of 10. And the pictures are so goofy. Everyone looks so obese.
What?
What? I didn't think that. And I could think of gorillas being involved because Kubrick added some unnecessary things. Do not watch.
I think he got. That
What
was 2001. There are gorillas.
Do you think the gorillas in 2001 still hold up now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, because it's all part of the atmosphere of the film, and also you can read what you want.
I still look at it and think they're gorillas. I don't think they're people in gorilla suits. BBC TV makes period pieces better than this.
Oh, God. Oh, wow, this is an old review. What year is this from?
1999.
Jesus.
I revisited Barry Lyndon after 25 years and found 3 hours of pretty pictures and wooden characters. Not one involving personality. 25 years ago, I probably thought this was
completely disagree. Even though, Barry is cold, he has personality. Every character has a personality. Lord Bullingdon, all of them.
I don't think this guy realised how much this movie made an impression on him, because now he's become as cynical as the movie, because he said, 25 years ago, I thought this was art. Now it's boring crap. It's safe to say, since the wretched auteur theory was debunked. Film historians have recently discovered screenwriters and are dragging out elderly scribes for that last interview about the golden age of Hollywood. Hitchcock actually used screenwriters. Can you imagine? BBC actually does Thackeray better because TV is character-driven.
Wow, I mean, mind you, he was... Okay, completely unrelated to Barry Lyndon. He was maybe ahead of the curve with that last statement because TV is very... Fucking hell, wow. He was a time traveler.
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah. BJJ Jonas MLs. This movie is faithful to the book, but that is not a recommendation for either. This is the slowest, most tedious movie I have ever seen. Let me just say, but you could definitely watch it like that if you want. Like you could sit back and not really, get engrossed in it and just see it as slow. I understand that statement. It's definitely slow going and it takes its time. But that's also what I find, not all the time, but with his movies, especially whenever you actually devote yourself to it and, basically give it a chance, it always pays off. I was a junior English major when it was released and we were studying the book. When the movie came out to our theatre in 1975, my whole class went to see it. We all thought that the movie was as boring as the book, and we had gone to see it because the book was so boring. We wanted to avoid finishing it. Didn't even like the book. Oh, in one scene, you watch a horse's hoof trot for what it seems to be at least 5 minutes, and it has nothing to do with the plot. It wasn't until I saw this listing that I learned the movie was thought to be Oscar material. Frankly, I didn't see it. Ryan O'Neal played a person who lacked character, and the portrayal lacked spirit. Of course, now that I know this is a Kubrick film, I do understand the boredom. It matches 2001.
Oh, wow. So this guy just doesn't like Stanley Kubrick, does he?
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
How dare them? How dare they? No. Just no. Wrong. Very wrong.
Absolute numpties. How dare you?
How dare you find Kubrick boring?